BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, unleashes the spirit of Las Vegas with BetMGM Rewards. Every time you make a wager at BetMGM, you can earn BetMGM Rewards points that you can redeem for online bonus credits like bonus bets and bet insurance tokens. Planning a trip to Vegas? You can also convert your BetMGM points into MGM Rewards points that you can use towards dining, shows, and hotel rooms at over 20 MGM Rewards properties located on the Las Vegas Strip and nationwide. Sign up with BetMGM or log on today to get an even bigger piece of the action with BetMGM Rewards. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Virginia only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Aaron Carnes. We started this podcast in 2021 to promote my book, In Defense of Ska. Since then, the podcast has grown into its own thing. I've been working on an expanded second edition. I interviewed new people, edited every chapter, and there's a new final chapter, 30,000 new words. The expanded second edition of In Defense of Ska will be released on October 29th, 2024. Can you do something for me? Pre-order it right now at clashbooks.com under the Books tab. The more copies it sells in advance, the more it'll get people to support ska music. Thanks. All right, we got Nick LaValle. Nick, you were on during our first year. You were on this podcast.
A highlight of my life. It really was awesome. I loved it, and I can't tell you how many people have reached out over the past couple years that have said, like, dude, I didn't even know you were on In Defense of Ska. I've been listening forever, but they hadn't gone far back enough to hear my episode, which has been really cool. And
I just love hearing your voice. I mean, we were saying that before the mic started recording.
I love hearing your voices too. It's awesome. You guys sound, you're old friends. You're like old friends to me. And in particular, Adam, it's wild that we've maintained a friendship, like 20 plus year friendship, thanks to social media and AOL. We were friends on AOL first. So.
What was your AOL screen name?
Skull Baby 3.
When was the last time you logged on to AOL Instant Messenger?
Oh God. I actually got a Wicked Joyful AOL email address a couple years ago. I was like, I want that. I know Patrick Stump has an AOL email address.
Oh.
He's a former guest as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure is.
I just want to be Patrick Stump.
Okay.
That's why I got the AOL
That's fine.
address. Yeah.
We all have to have dreams, right?
Guy. Love that guy.
So today, before we go, today we're going to go behind the curtain. We're going to talk about something we did not talk about when last time you were here, which is chicken tenders. But before we go behind the curtain, let's catch up a little bit on the topics we did discuss, which was your music and Wicked Joyful. Anything of interest happening in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Year, I mean, we put Donna.
It was 2021.
Okay, so Donna, the band, had released Angus Soundtrack 2. It was an EP that we had put out in 2021. And the cover of that album is me and Rivers Cuomo when I was 17 years old, like 1997, outside of Fenway Park in Boston. They had played a street festival with Real Big Fish, among other bands, and snapped a photo with Rivers. And Donna also put out this other album called Gravity and the Stars Above. But I'm going to connect Weezer with Wicked Joyful. Last summer, I made a Rivers Cuomo action figure, a second edition, specifically for the tour they were on this past summer, and was going to the concert that night, Indie Rock Roadshow, and I found myself backstage hanging out with Rivers because I had given Weezer that action figure that day. It was a crazy day. I'm bypassing a lot of stuff, but found myself VIP backstage, got River, then got a message like, hey, stick around after the show. Rivers would love to meet you. And then there he was. And he was like, I love your action figures. And I was like, I love you. And I told him, I said, we had met before, and he was like, what? And then I told him about how I took this photo with him outside of Fenway Park when I was 17, and that he shared it to Instagram like just a couple years ago. And I thought that was cool, and he thought it was cool. And then we were chatting, and I said, and then he said, and I told him how I'd seen his solo shows when he was going to Harvard and Boston. And he said, which ones? And I told him, I said, the TT the Bears when you played Rosemary. And he was like, I met my wife that night at that show. So I was, so when I was leaving, I was like, I hope we cross paths again. He's like, it sounds like we've been doing that for decades. So it was just a cool moment. And it was a cool kind of bridge because that, Donaher used that photo for our EP, and it happened because of this thing I do through Wicked Joyful, which is custom action figures. And I don't know if we talked about this on the first show, but I think where I'm at in my life is that I'm finding ways, and we were just talking before we hit record, I'm 8 years sober, and I'm just finding ways to connect all these things that I've done my entire life, whether that's work in community media or do stand up and play in bands and make action figures. But like, I'm just trying to live my most authentic self. Like, I want to be who I am 24/7, one version of me. Like, I don't want to be a guy who like seems to put on different hats for different moments in his life. I just want to be myself. And I think that's the most important thing any one person can do is live authentically. And that's where I'm at. And I think that's a good lead into how I got my hometown, Manchester, New Hampshire, officially proclaimed the chicken tender capital of the world. Is it not?
Yes. Well, we'll get into that in 1 second. I just want to make one more connection to Wicked Joyful and this podcast. Something that happened recently is that you made an Ian Fowles action figure.
Yes, I did.
And what was the reason you did that?
The reason why I made Ian from the Aquabats was because I listened to his episode on In Defense of Ska, and I was just like, this dude, I feel like I know him. Like, I was just like, he just reminded me of me and my telling his tale about how he formed Death by Stereo, and it just reminded me of my friends and I in high school. And I was like, I feel like I would have hung out with this guy, and also, then I sort of like, went on Instagram and I was following him and I'm scrolling through, and he actually a few years ago, back just before Weezer's White Album came out, I made these hats that were, a parody of the MAGA hats. I make Weezer great again, but on a blue hat. Ian did the same exact thing, like around the same time. So I was like, yeah, we're bros. Like we're bros. We don't even know it yet. So I was following him on Instagram. He actually followed me back. And then I just, without any sort of, announcement or anything, without him unannounced or unexpectedly, I just put it up there and he saw it and he loved it. So I actually have to ship that to him tomorrow.
All right.
Also, he bought his own action figure?
This one I'm gifting.
Oh, okay.
I'm gifting. Yeah.
Nice.
I've been known to do that.
Sure. It's a good move.
Okay. So you've done some incredible work for the chicken tender. And so I think that if people subscribe to this, our Patreon and listen to this whole episode, I think they're going to come away with a strong sense that we no longer need mozzarella sticks to represent ska. I think it's going to be the chicken tender from now on.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So if you want to hear Nick's amazing story about how he got the his new what is it? It's Manchester, New Hampshire to be the chicken tender capital of the world. Then join us behind the curtain where we're going right now. All right. We are behind the curtain. So this is all for Patreon subscribers now.
Nice.
Speak freely. No.
Finally.
I want to take a little controversial sidebar for a second.
Sure.
Hey, that's all you get for now unless you sign up for the Patreon. For only $5 a month, you can support this podcast. That's right. And you'll get special perks over there.
You get extra long episodes. You get swag. You get access to our Discord. So, it's funny that Nick and I have been friends for so long. I've known Nick since 1998. Crazy. Go check it out, $5. Ska now, more than ever.
BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks, unleashes the spirit of Las Vegas with BetMGM rewards. Every time you make a wager at BetMGM, you can earn BetMGM rewards points that you can redeem for online bonus credits like bonus bets and bet insurance tokens. Planning a trip to Vegas? You can also convert your BetMGM points into MGM rewards points that you can use towards dining, shows, and hotel rooms at over 20 MGM rewards properties located on the Las Vegas Strip and nationwide. Sign up with BetMGM or log on today to get an even bigger piece of the action with BetMGM rewards. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Virginia only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Boss is here!
Military parents never miss a beat, and neither does the Johns Hopkins U.S. Family Health Plan. Built for every warrior in your family. With more than 40 years of service to military families, TRICARE Prime benefits plus exclusive extras. Learn more at warriorsathome.com.